Chelsea and I'm back with another sewing tutorial. In this video, I have a tie-dye dress that I found at the thrift store. And I didn't think it looked very flattering as a dress, but I thought it would look beautiful as a skirt. So for this project, you're just gonna need an iron, an ironing board, a seam gauge, a seam ripper, and some elastic. We're gonna use a 1/2 inch braided elastic for this project because I want the waistband to be a little skinnier just to give it a cooler look. One thing I've noticed is that a lot of these dresses I find at the thrift store are wrinkly, but it's made out of a type of fabric that cannot be ironed. So one of the tips I have is to use a steamer and just use that to get the wrinkles out. This is just a little handheld steamer, and you can use that to kind of remove all the wrinkles before you start working with the dress. So next you want to try on the dress as if it was a skirt. Line the bottom up with how long you want your skirt to be, and then go ahead and mark along the waistband where you want your waistband to fall. Now I want mine to be a high waist, so this is where I'm going to put my mark here, and I'm just going to use a tailor's chalk or a disappearing ink pen to do that. Now I want to add some length on top of that measurement to allow room for the waistband. So because I'm making my waistband a 1/2 inch wide with 1/2 inch elastic, I'm going to double that measurement and then add about a 1/2 inch on top of that. So if you notice, the dress has some ties on the back, and to make this into a maxi skirt, we do not want these. So in order to remove straps like this, you just want to grab your seam ripper, and I'm going to rip along where that tie is so that I can remove it. And then after I remove the tie, I will have a hole there, and I just need to close that up using a matching color thread on my regular sewing machine with a straight stitch. So your seam ripper really is your best friend when you are upcycling. The straps are gone and you can't even tell that they were there. And I can use these for another project. I think they might make a really cool bias tape for like a collar of some kind for another shirt. So next we want to take the dress to our mat and use our rotary cutter and ruler to just cut off the top where that line is that we drew. Now you want to take your iron and your seam gauge, and we're going to create the casing for the waistband. First you want to fold the top of the skirt down about a 1/4 inch and iron that flat so you get a nice crease, and then go ahead and fold it down again about 3/4 of an inch and then iron that down flat as well. Now I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew along this edge here, and I want to make sure that I have enough room for my 1/2 inch elastic to fit inside. Also, I'm going to leave about a 1-inch gap so that I can insert the elastic. Okay, so now we have the casing for the elastic done on the skirt, and it turned out pretty good. And now you want to measure around your waist how much elastic you're going to want for a snug fitting waistband. And keep in mind how high it's going to be. Mine is a high-waisted skirt, so I'm going to measure up higher on my waist. Once you cut your piece of elastic, you're going to take a safety pin and put that on the end of the elastic. And then you can use this to thread it through that hole that you left. And then clip or pin the other end towards the opening so that you don't lose the elastic inside the casing. And then just go ahead and thread that elastic through. Once you get the safety pin through, just take that off. And then kind of pull the skirt so that the elastic is evenly around the waistband. And at this point, I like to try the skirt on again, make sure that I have the right size, and then I will use my disappearing ink pen to mark on the elastic exactly where I want to sew the two pieces together. Now I'm going to pull the elastic back out and make sure that it's not twisted. That's another reason you want your casing to match the width of your elastic, because when it's tight in there, it's going to be less likely to twist. So then with my elastic back out, I'm going to line up those two lines that I made and then do a small zigzag stitch across here. So after I have attached both ends of the elastic together, I'm going to take my regular sewing machine and just stitch along that gap so that it's closed, trying to stay in line with those other stitches that I've made around the top. And that is all you have to do to turn a long thrifted dress into a maxi skirt. I can't wait to try this on and see what it looks like. The tie-dye is so beautiful. I'm so happy I found this dress, and I encourage you to go to the thrift store and find some of those long dresses that might not look so nice as a dress, but you could turn them into an awesome maxi skirt like this. I would love to see what you're making. You can tag me on Instagram at Painted Layers Studio. And thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more sewing tutorials and upcycles, please subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next video.